here on EA Sports. On the return, here comes Marvin Mims. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. So now, out comes the offense, led by their quarterback as they take over once again. And we show you some of the highlights, and there have been plenty to choose from. 3 touchdown passes and some other big-time throws as well. Certainly dialed in and on top of his game right throughout this one. Nick snap on 1st and 10. He's got the... Oh, after the catch, he's hit, and the ball is out. And fortunately, this is going to get out of bounds. So no turnover, and it's actually going to wind up a first down. Good work to get the first down, and Greg, maybe good fortune that they're able to keep possession after the fumble.
And I know where his mind is, Mike. He's so focused on getting that first down, which he does a great job getting, but it can't come at the expense of protecting the ball. Now, in this case, he's very fortunate. He loses the ball, but it ends up going out of bounds.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Back to throw is Nix. Going for it all. And that is brought in. And he will go all the way. Touchdown, Denver. A beautiful combination in the air there. The pass downfield and bringing it the rest of the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's really just a great route, Mike, and then a beautiful throw. The accuracy of the throw is what allowed the receiver not only to secure the catch, but then be able to turn it up and finish the play and find himself in the end zone.
Lutz for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Broncos will extend this third quarter lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. They're trying to pin him deep. They'll take this from the 3. And that's well done by the kicking team. He's only able to make it past the 50. The Rams offense and Puka Nacua getting set for this next possession. They are in need of points in a big way as they set out on 1st and 10. And this rough day on the ground continues. They're going to drop him behind the line again. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Throwing, Stafford. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him.
Outside of a turnover, this was probably the worst-case scenario. Immediate pressure in his face with nowhere to go with the ball downfield. Just get the ball out of your hand. Live to play another down. Instead, he retreats backwards and leads to a massive loss.
So a good chunk of yardage there, but still well short of the first down.
They pick up a nice chunk play there through the air on 3rd down, but it's not quite enough to move the chains. Now the question is, how aggressive is this head coach willing to be as he tries to extend this drive?
They are going for it. Stafford. And that is not going to work. Incomplete, and they turn it over on downs.
Yeah, when you find yourself down big here in the second half, you have to maximize. possession, and that's exactly what the coach tried to do, going for it on 4th down. Give yourselves a chance to cut into this big lead, but it's the defense that came through again with a huge stop, and that's going to make their chances of coming back that much more difficult.
A gain there of 10 yards. Good for a Denver first down.
Well, after not having much success in the first half, they're able to get something going on the ground here to start the 3rd quarter. I'd love to see the play caller mix in some play action, mix in some pass game. That should open up some of these holes for better situations to run the ball.
And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
I wouldn't be surprised if some point here in the future, Mike, this quarterback drops back. It looks like the same old hitch route underneath we've seen a few times, and they give a pump fake and go. You can lull a defense to sleep with a lot of these underneath quick game passes, and once you do, you can try to go for the big one.
This one to the tight end, Trotman. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
And the Broncos are going to have what looks to be a 1st and goal. He'll take this down to the 10-yard line.
Really just the same approach that an offense would take on a quarterback sneak, Mike. You don't necessarily have to spring them for a huge gain. Can you buy just enough space up front to pick up 1 yard? That's exactly what they did. Pick up the first down.
One of the tight ends motions right. They'll run it for the first time with Javonte Williams. They'll come up with nothing there. Fortunate just to get back to the line. And that'll set up 2nd and goal.
Heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss, but not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
2nd down. Nix. He'll tuck it and take off. And he'll gain yardage and able to get down at the end of the play.
Well, give him some credit. Initially, that looked like it was going to be a sack. He's able to escape the pressure and get away, picks up a little bit of yardage, but at least he avoids taking that shot.
Throw it. Nix. To the end zone there, but it is incomplete.
We're starting to see a lot of this on 3rd down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these 3rd down conversions. Here, the ball is thrown short. The idea is get the ball in the hands of your playmaker and let him pick up the rest with his feet. But you know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball, and in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
What's his kick? Is good. And the Broncos will extend their 3rd quarter lead.
So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for 3, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. He'll start at the 4. He'll work his way across. Yard line. The Rams offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They'll do so with 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground with Corum. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
I mean, how many of those rushes did we see in his time in Michigan, Mike? I mean, this kid played football for years now, and now he's got a chance to make his mark on the NFL stage. 27 rushing touchdowns last year. That led all of college football. This is one of the better young backs to come into the league in the last couple years. His play style really complements what Sean McVay wants. Angeles Rams offense.
Second down, it's Stafford.
Entering accessibility screen, you have 19 options. Menu narration option is set to office selected.
Incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. He'll drop this down to Williams. A gain of 11 on that one. First down, L.A.
The best quarter. Necessarily even have to see the running back in the check down. They can just feel him. It allows them to keep their eyes downfield, allow their tight ends and wide receivers to continue to work open. In this case, nice job by the quarterback getting that ball in his hands and letting him do the rest after the catch.
Second down and 3. Working out of the gun, Stafford. Nakua snags it over the middle. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9. They'll fake the handoff now. Stafford. Inside the 10, it is caught. Out of bounds, but in business. They mark him down near the 2.
Still first down.
Play action now for Stafford. That is caught downfield by Cup. And they're going to be set up right around the 10-yard line.
And really the key to this play was just how fast he was able to get through his progressions. His mind was able to process and go from 1 to 2 to 3 so quickly that he was able to get the ball to the right target on time. And I think so often those two things are different. Being open is one thing. Being open and getting the ball on time, that's what leads to success, and that's what we saw here. I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike, and what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells, so they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and so far they've done a great job on this drive doing just that.
And he's going to be dropped. They get to him back at the 15-yard line.
That last sack is exactly why defensive coaches preach over and over. Just play the next down. Just continue to make them snap the ball again. You're one big defensive play from changing everything about this drive, and what once looked like a promising drive, following that sack, looks a little bit different now.
Good drive now faces a tough conversion. It is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Stafford. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Hardy's kick is good. And the Rams are able to put up 3 and cut into the lead.
And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Here's Smith to return it. And he at the 25-yard line. The Broncos. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. They'll begin here on the ground. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up second down. They'll look to pick up the pace. They'll stick with him again. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this third quarter. So we are through 3. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So, from the 36, it is 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
What makes great linebackers stand out from the pack is their instincts and their vision. In this case, the linebacker has his keys, brings him right where the ball is going, and he's able to make a play at the point of attack and keep this to a no gain. Now, a second down throw for Nix.
Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
Just another example of poor decision-making. I mean, making a bad play even worse. There's nothing there on second down. Just throw the ball into the stands and move on to third. Now you take that sack, and it's going to take a miracle to stay on the field.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. He'll try to get this one on the ground. Fighting off tacklers, pushing his way forward. Good gain of about 4.
This is a spot you just love to be in as a defensive player. I mean, you've got him backed up so far, you're not really fearing any play call, let alone a run. Sit a couple of guys back, keep the ball from being thrown over your head. Everybody else track the ball. Well, short.
A fair catch signaled, and they'll have it. From their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Corum to start the drive. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Second and 7. In motion, it's the tight end, Higbee. Stafford now on second down. There's a short one taken in by Higbee.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
They'll try to run it here with Corum. First down and more to the 45. 19 yards on the gain, and that's good for a first down.
There's a big conversation going on right now around the NFL about what is the true value of run game, and I've always thought it comes down to being good at 3 situations. Can you run the ball in the 4th quarter with a lead? How well can you run the ball on the goal?
The pressure, too much, and he goes down.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we're going to see which team can establish a little bit more of this control as the game unfolds.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Stafford gonna give it to Corum. And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold him to 2 and bring up 3rd down. A shotgun snap to Stafford. He's gonna look deep. Going to Cup. That one is batted away. Incomplete. No separation that time. Tightly defended. It brings up 4th down. Stafford to throw it. He's going to try it here. And that is incomplete. The defense very happy to see that play call. The decision to go for it on 4th and long will end up in a turnover. Dulcich now brought in motion. That's deep for the back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up uncatchable out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
I can sit up here all day, Mike, and we can talk about the missed throw, but I think a lot of the credit has to go to the pass defense. Not only did they do a good job making it difficult for them to complete the pass, but I think they saved the touchdown along the way.
Now a give up the middle, and that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. But they have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
Here's a 3rd and 10. A tight end in motion now. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he did not want to go down. Good running, manages to gain 5. On now, it's Will Lutz to try the field goal. This will be a 48-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. Kick is good. And the Broncos add on to their lead.
So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Rams offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Stafford. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 33-yard line.
Stafford. He gets it into the hands of Atwell. And it'll be a short pickup that's not enough for the 1st down. Don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. The motion man is Nakua. And that'll move the sticks. 1st down, up to the 40.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the 1st down.
A 1st down throw for Stafford. That's to the left side and pulled in by Higbee. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and now whistles.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there unsuccessful, and it will remain a completed pass. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. To throw is Stafford. For the middle, it's Cup. He's going to be taken down at about the 30. Stafford now on 1st down. That'll be caught by the running back, Williams. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. They'll throw once more. Here's Stafford. Right side, complete to Nakua. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
Outbreaking routes, Mike, especially outside of the numbers, everything is about the timing. If you're late with the throw, you're going to be watching that defensive back take that thing the other way for 6.
Again, it's Stafford. He'll find his tight end. That's Higbee. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play. Here's a handoff to Cora. And he's going to be taken down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Stafford will throw here on 3rd and 1. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Cooper, Kupp, touchdown, Rams. Stafford has his guys set. They'll try to add 2 more after the touchdown. Back to throw. That's pulled in. And they're able to tack on a 2-point conversion.
Mike, I think all of us can remember exactly where we were during a certain Super Bowl where throwing the ball this close to the goal line ended up being a disaster. But unlike that time, they ran this pass play to perfection, and the result, 2 points.
This one not quite over, but down a couple of scores. We're going to get an onside kick.
Well, that recovery certainly makes things a little more interesting, but you're still down 2 possessions, so you've got to work fast, score quickly, and then line back up and recover another one.
Here's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Hupp brings it in left side. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. Get this complete. It's Cup again. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. One timeout at their disposal, but the more pressing need, you have to score twice. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Stafford. And that ball intercepted by Pat Surtain. Still on the move. And he is going to score. A pick 6 for the touchdown. Late in the game, a big turnover goes back the other way. A back-breaking score.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, Mike, you're just trying to make something happen. You find yourself trailing, less than 2 minutes remain. You're just taking some chances. In this case, the chances backfire, and the other team's able to capitalize and take it all the way back for 6.
Here's Lutz now for the extra point. He's got it. The Broncos will open it up even further here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This returnable from the 4. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense getting set to go again. And this defense has really had their way so far, intercepting him twice, forced into a number of bad throws, and generally the D has just made it tough to operate all game long. From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. Throwing, Stafford. This one complete to Atwell.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains, by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Back to throw, Stafford. He gets this to the veteran tight end, Higbee. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
These can be tricky situations defensively, right? The game is all but over. Barring something unforeseen, you got this one in the bag, but you still want to finish on a high note. You still want to walk off the field and put an exclamation point on what's pretty much been a dominant performance right from the start.
He'll drop this down to Cora. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Here's a 2nd and 6. To the air again, Stafford. And that ball incomplete over the middle. Kyron Williams, the intended receiver there. And it's going to be 3rd down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
They get 10 yards on the hook up there. Good for a Rams 1st down.
This is what they call an angle route, and what's so hard for these linebackers is it looks like the running back is just trying to beat you to the flat. And then once you overcommit, he puts his foot down and crosses your face, and he's wide open in the middle of the field.
And that final throw here is intercepted. Oh, big hole left side. And he is going to bring this one back. A DB's dream. A pick 6 for touchdown. The defense is having a day. They extend the lead with Greg their 2nd pick 6 of the game.
And that's just something you don't see very often in the NFL, Mike. I mean, you might see a handful of games each year where there's 1 pick 6, but to get 2 pick 6s in the same game, this defense is on fire.
So this will wind up a win for the Broncos. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did. That was the difference in this one. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. And off we go from SoFi. From the 6, here comes a return. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Rams led out by a Super Bowl champion, Matthew Stafford, 2nd among all active passers in the NFL. Only Aaron Rodgers has thrown for more yards. Hard to believe, Greg, it's already season 16 for the man out of the University of Georgia.
I had a coach tell me earlier in my career, Mike, specifically about the quarterback position. If you don't have fast feet, you better have a fast mind. And here we have a guy that has played a lot of games under center. He has seen a lot of football, and while he might not be as mobile, he might not have the arm strength to make all the throws he had earlier in his career, that experience behind center, that experience being in these moments before, man, having that quick mind, there's not a whole lot of defense he's going to throw at him that he hasn't seen.
They'll get 11 there, and that's a quick 1st down.
We met with these coaches during the week, Mike. They told us the emphasis this week about getting the run game going early, and we see it here. Nice first play pickup, fresh set of downs.
Stafford now on 1st down. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
They told us this week they were going to try to come out fast, and tell you what, that's exactly what they did. Put immediate pressure on this secondary and let them know, hey, all game long today, you better defend every blade of grass because we're coming out firing. And even though that ball falls incomplete, it goes a long way in setting up the rest of this game plan as the game unfolds.
He'll locate Cup. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sit and duck for this pass rush.
So it's fourth down, punting time. Ethan Evans to do the honor. And he'll be brought down. Short return, and they'll take over there. The Broncos led by the rookie, quarterback Bo Nix out of Oregon. The rookie, the last of the quarterbacks taken in the first round, number 12 overall. He's been around, he's 24 years old, but the rookie runs it for the Broncos.
I really like this young quarterback, Mike. I think there's a lot of things that he does very well. I mean, the arm talent, it allows you to expand the playbook. His mind, he can process information both quickly and decisively. Pocket presence, impressive as well. He rarely finds himself in situations where he's a sitting duck. Now, can he put all of that together and operate an NFL offense? That's what we want to see here today. And so far, I think he's shown a lot of hope that he can grow into a future franchise quarterback.
They'll come up on a second down and 8. Back to throw is Nix. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete. Cortland Sutton, the intended receiver. Third down coming up.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
He manages to get the throw away and completes it. 18 yards on the pickup there. Good for a Denver first down.
And it doesn't really matter who you put on him, Mike. When you want to play one-on-one man coverage against a receiver like this, there's not a whole lot else you can do. It's hard to put help over the top because the ball's being thrown out by the sidelines. I like playing in and out. I like playing zones. Somebody underneath, somebody over the top. Share the responsibility. But that's not what they're doing. That's straight man coverage. Quarterback sees the matchup. There's no question where the ball's going to go. Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
Now, a second down throw for Nix. He's got it to the tight end, Dulcich.
This play is actually really well defended here. But I'll tell you, Mike, as you know, my philosophy is the tight end is always open, and this just supports my case.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Play action now. It's Nix. Finds his tight end, Dulcich. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Here's Here's a 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, here's Nix. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground in line, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Working out of the gun, it's Nix. That is hauled in at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the pylon, but he's out of bounds right around the 1-yard line. 29 yards in all, and they'll have it 1st and goal.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's 1st and goal.
To throw is Nix. And that is incomplete, but now a penalty flag comes in late. He might have been caught with his hands in the cookie jar.
Automatic first down.
The defense still arguing about that pass interference call, but their focus needs to be a stop. They face 1st and goal. Throwing is Nix. That one, take it in, middle of the end zone. Greg Dulcich, touchdown Denver.
So when you find yourself this tight to the goal line, Mike, the offense becomes a lot more restricted in as far as how deep you can throw the ball. The field is wider than it is long, and I think the idea here is let's spread them out. Let's put all of our eligibles out there and let the quarterback get a really good picture. Where are the holes in the coverage? Where are the one-on-one matchups that I like? And let's put this ball in the quarterback's hand. Let him make a good decision, and in this case, it results in a touchdown.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos will take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This will be returned from the 6. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Rams offense ready to see the football for the 2nd time. They were forced to punt the first time through. It led to a touchdown, so down 7-0 as they get the ball back for 1st and 10. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
The ability to be effective on 1st down, Mike, it just makes everything else easier. In the event you do have to face a 3rd down the road, they're usually a lot more manageable situations. A lot easier to convert.
Stafford now to throw on 1st down. Pass is completed to Cup. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass. Get past the 1st down marker. Be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can drop all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop. So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules, and the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
In motion, it's the tight end, Higbee. That's over the middle and intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have it at their own 32-yard line.
Those simple routes over the middle, Mike, well, to the quarterback, they're not always so simple. I'll tell you why. There's a lot of bodies in the middle of the field. There's a lot of traffic. Those windows are hard to navigate the ball through safely. So what happens? Well, you saw it there. It's a prime area for throws to be intercepted.
The Broncos offense ready to take over for their second possession. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown on the opening drive. So try to double up here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Here's Nix to throw. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. They'll turn and hand this one off. He'll move the pile forward. Let's give him a couple. Cameron Curl up from his safety spot to make the tackle. Third down, 3 to go. Nix from the gun on 3rd down. To the right side here, pass is caught. 10 yards, the gain on the pitch and catch. 1st down, Broncos.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. But think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line.
You can see this connection is just starting really to pick up. They're seeing the game through the same set of eyes, and that is the job of the receiver. What is my quarterback expecting from me? Where does he want me? Be there on time, and it leads to big gains like this.
1st and 10. They'll go play action with Nix. On a man left side, it's caught. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
Well, they certainly aren't wasting any time marching down the field. I mean, you only need one hand to count how many plays they've run, and yet they find themselves 1st and goal inside the low red zone.
A couple of big plays, one after the other, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. He'll get this forward, no signal. They're going to mark him down at the 1. Come a little closer. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing, Nix. He's got his big tight end. Greg Dulcich. Touchdown, Broncos. That is 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. What an opening quarter he is having. Greg, that is 2 touchdown receptions here in the 1st quarter.
Mike, all this guy has to do is keep this pace up, and he's going to have himself 8 touchdowns. But in all seriousness, if I'm this quarterback, I'm not looking anywhere else until this defense proves they have an answer, because right now, they don't have one.
Lutz for the extra point. He's got it. And the Broncos move out on top, 14-0.
Rams nothing.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. From the 6, here comes a return. A good return as he takes it across the 30. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Hupp brings it in left. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line.
First and 10 at the 43.
So after one, 14-0 is our score. And we're back at SoFi in SoCal after this. A 1st down throw for Stafford. That'll be caught by the running back, Williams. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel in. Number 1, traditional handoffs. Yes, you have to operate out of the backfield like a traditional running back. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection, and maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing. Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes, so give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
3rd and 5. On 3rd down, they go with Corum.
John Franklin Myers on the tackle.
It's too long for a field goal. They'll go for it here on 4th down. Stafford to throw it. Complete. They took a chance throwing it on 4th and short, but not to be, and they'll turn it over on downs.
So this offense, they think this is a prime opportunity to go for it. On 4th down, but this defense was having none of it. Nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball, no easy completions, and this defense forces a huge stop on 4th down.
Still first down.
His drive will start on the ground. It's a short pickup, taking this to the 49. Cameron Curl up from his safety spot to make the tackle. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Second and 11. They'll throw. It's Nix. There's that man again. Another catch.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
Try to pick this one up on the ground. And he will have a Broncos first down. It was 3rd and 3, and they picked up 6.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Broncos.
Now Nick's going to look to throw. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line.
They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. He'll drop to throw. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
Every quarterback's dream is, can I get the ball out of my hand as fast as possible and get it to a guy that can do the rest after the catch? And it seems like nowadays, throughout the entire league, the best offenses thrive in yards after the catch.
Ball down to the 16-yard line. And it's 1st and 10. Back to throw is Nix. Quick throw here is complete. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker. Here's 2nd and 2. Back to the air one more time. And this is too far over the end line. It's incomplete.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
Here's 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw. He's got it at the 3. And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Mike, I think we make so much of all these fancy routes, right? The selling, the head fakes, getting in and out of the break. And while that's really important to create separation, that's really more of a man beater. That's when teams want to just play you one-on-one and you have to beat the defender. Against zone defense, like we saw here, it's a lot more simpler. Understand the concept of the play, understand where the holes in the defense are, and get there and be friendly to the quarterback. And if you're open, stay open. That's NFL route running. That's what the best guys do.
From the 1, 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And he will fight his way to the end zone. Bo Nix. Touchdown, Denver. This defense continuing to give up points. Greg, you've been on offenses like this. This has to feel great when you're on a roll like this.
And it's really twofold, Mike. First and foremost, just like you said, every offense in the league works all week. We want to start out fast. We want to establish some early rhythm and play our style of game. They've certainly done that. Now, on the flip side, what does it do to your opponent? It takes them completely out of their game plan, knowing this early in the game, they're chasing points.
The kick is good. Makes the score Broncos 21, Rams nothing.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Here come the Rams as their offense trots back onto the field. They find themselves down 3 touchdowns here, needing to flip the script in a hurry. And they'll start it here on 1st down. Working out of the gun, Stafford. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
As this offense continues to put anything together and score some points, they need to just take a step back. Then you say, okay, we've struggled here in the first half putting points on the scoreboard. Don't worry about chasing points. Let's chase first downs. Let's chase completions. Just start building something small. And oftentimes when you take that approach, it snowballs, and next thing you know, you find your groove.
And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
It's a game of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Here now, 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. Unloads downfield, looking for Nakua. And he's in. Puka Nakua. Touchdown, L.A.
This is when you're very fortunate as an offensive play caller, Mike, that you not only have the speed on the outside, but you got the big arm behind center, because it doesn't get real fancy. If you can hold up in the protection, you're saying run as fast and as far as you can. I'm going to throw it as far as I can, and when you connect, it is a thing of beauty, and in this case, it results in a touchdown.
Joshua Carty comes out now for the extra point. The kick is good, and the Rams get back in it. It is 21-7. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Here's Smith to return it. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The rookie, Bo Nix, and the Broncos offense getting set to take over once more. He's had things all his way in the first half. Those numbers are sensational. He looks to add to them with another drive here. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. Off the play fake, here's Nix. Man is open, middle of the field. It is caught. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45. You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far, and it draws the flag. Play action now. It's Nix. He finds his tight end, Dulcich.
How fast things can flip. You find yourself in 1st and a mile after taking a penalty on 1st down. But that chunk play there in the passing game now gets them back in sequence with the chains and brings up a more manageable 2nd down.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Throwing is Nix. They'll try to hit him with a screen. And he's going to be run out after a gain of about 6, but that'll be good enough for a 1st down.
We're starting to see this so often, Mike. The days of just having a running back who you're just going to turn around and hand it to, yes, that's still a critical part of NFL offensive football, but their ability to be used in the passing game, just one more thing for the defense to have to defend. Make them go sideline to sideline, line of scrimmage to the end zone. Defend every blade of grass, and a really good running back goes a long way in doing that.
Already closing in on 100 yards receiving in the 1st half. That one picks up a 1st down. A handoff as they try to run it here. Not a whole lot there as he'll work it down to the 46. Linebacker Ernest Jones ends that play. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's Nix to throw. Throw left side, but that's going to be incomplete.
At this level, you just would expect a little bit better execution and accuracy on those intermediate throws. I think he had an opportunity there for a nice pickup. Off target, off rhythm, and ends up getting away from it.
To throw is Nix. Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. Good-looking screenplay there. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
So far here early, Mike, the key for this offense has been their ability to maintain possession by converting on these 3rd downs. It's going to be a big storyline the rest of the way. This defense has to find a way. When they force 3rd down, they got to get off the field.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. He's going to run it. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the 1st down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Nix. That is hauled in at the 5. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos.
And that was just a great drive. Really, from start to finish, Mike, you could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix in run, mix in pass. Results in the touchdown pass, but really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. When you can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns, man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
Here's Lutz now for the extra point. His kick is good. The Broncos add on one more as they extend their second quarter lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This will be returned from the 6. Yeah! He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Luke and Akua and this Rams offense come back onto the field. They'll try to get this a bit more respectable before the break. It has not been their half to this point. Let's see what they do on this drive. First down now. Out of the gun, Stafford. Throw right side, home in by Cup. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
They face 2nd down and 7. From the shotgun, it's Stafford. That finds Nakua downfield, complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and that's exactly how they're able to pick up this big gain.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. A shotgun snap to Stafford. Pass caught right side by Higbee. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Again, it's Stafford. He gets it into the hands of Atwell. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down. Stafford to throw again. That is brought in at the 10. And he will score. Tyler Higbee. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Well, that is a step in the right direction, finding the end zone. I don't know, Greg. Could this be building some momentum for these guys, and that's important before halftime?
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing this coach is trying to get across right now on the sideline, Mike, is let's just cut into this lead and let's make it a one-score game at half. So they still got some work to do, but if they can go into halftime, regroup, catch their breath, just keep it close, give yourself a fighting chance here out of the break.
The extra point from Carty is good. And the Rams are able to cut into the deficit. Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting ready to go back to work. And he has done everything you could ask of him coming into this one. Spread it around, hasn't taken many chances, and potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Now Nick's going to look to throw. That's taken in by Franklin.
These are the type of plays that drive a coach crazy in the film room, and you have to learn as a quarterback to avoid. You can take some chances. You can push the ball downfield, but not only to pick up a couple yards. You got to pick your chances of when you want to be aggressive, and you got to make sure you make better decisions going forward.
There's that man again. Another catch. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
Okay, Mike, thank you. More from you and Greg in a moment, but for now, welcome one and all to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference.